What it is, you guys, it is yo girl Cadillac. Yes, I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. That little light keeps peeking in right there. Trying to cover it with my head. Anyways, how y'all doing today? It is now February the 5th, 2023. I was about to say 2013. Girl, we a whole decade off. I was thinking about something else. I was going to tell you something else about 2013. That's when my darn channel started. So my channel, I was telling y'all about Project Reach the World. My Project Reach the World is almost 18 years old. If you didn't check out that video from this morning when I was telling you and showing you, it was like opening a time capsule. I had one of my first original Project Reach the Worlds that I did make back in 2000. And oh, this one was old. This one was made in like 2005, 6-ish that I opened up. And then it was another one that I showed you from my prison wives when I started doing Project Reach the World for prison wives. That was in 2013, so that's 10 years ago. The hand-painted t-shirts that I did show in that video, well, one of them, I do have a few more to show you. I was selling those. I was actually selling those to try to raise money for, oh, that horrible car sound right next to me. And I know y'all can hear that. Girl, one day my channel will fully come together where I will have more time to devote to it, and I won't have to be in parking lots and such with all these sound effects around me. But anyways, so the hand-painted shirts, I was making those to raise money for Marcello's legal defense. Girl, it's been just that long. Ooh. Boy, I really have got to have a vision. You see, and it's ironic, I'm legally blind. So the vision that I see is not clear through my eyes. But I see this whole thing working out in my mind. If you could just tap into my mind. Oh, some more cars. That's nice. Wow. Okay, if I could allow you to glimpse inside of my mind, you would completely understand how this is supposed to work. How my husband is supposed to be freed. It's simple. It's a simple plan in my head. People love my art. My art gains attention. I get people's attention. Once I got their attention, I tell them my story. Once people hear the details of the story and just not hear that, oh, my husband's in prison. No, once you start hearing more details, then you say, oh, that don't seem right. Oh, that doesn't seem right either. Oh, that don't make sense. Okay, hold on. There's too much that's not making sense. And then you're to the point where you're like, no, there's no way. They have got to have a mistake. It has to be a mistake. And then you realize they didn't do this by mistake. They literally just did this on purpose, you know. But it opens the doors. People start talking about it. Like I used to say, once I can get people talking, I can get people walking, which walking stood for movement, get people participating and helping. I've seen so many things brought to justice just by a lot of people getting involved. Because justice cannot stand up against the crowd. Injustice cannot stand up against the crowd. So injustice always has to be done secretively and undercover and under the rug. It has to be hidden, or else most people would not allow it to live, you know. So they hide injustice. And once I can get these people moving and talking about it and walking starts to marching. You know, my people love to march, but a lot of times I think we only march when things get in the spotlight, right? But there's things happening every day. We need to be marching every single day, because every day somebody has injustice happening to them. So if you're only marching once the camera is spotlighted on somebody, you're missing a whole lot of opportunities to be marching, right? Because we know that even if a story is not hitting the news, there's some form of injustice happening, because it's too prevalent. Our whole nation basically is built on injustice. So you know it's happening. So why not let's just go looking for these injustice stories and helping people out before? Why does it have to hit the freaking news and be like the biggest story alive before people start helping? Why not hear the story, say, oh, that doesn't make sense, and how can I help you? You know, because guarantee once I'm done freeing my husband, that's what I want to do. I want to help others. I know my husband cannot be the only one. I actually helped free somebody in the process of trying to free my husband. I freed somebody else, possibly, because I got him back into court with information that I found and sent to my husband, right? So that, I think that's going to be my life's journey, to help people to their freedom and to their justice. But I'm trying to get to Marcello's first. Possibly, you know, in the whole scheme of it, maybe I was never supposed to free Marcello Jackson. Who knows? But in the process of fighting for him, I have found so much. I have became somebody that I wasn't before. I was one of these closed-eyed people that just was stuck in how they told me things were. And I thought that things were on the up and up. And I wouldn't have known. I would have been a 40-year-old naive person thinking that the world is just, probably, if this hadn't happened to me and my family. So that rude awakening opened my eyes. And like I told y'all in my last video, I'm an empath. So I cannot stand to see other people hurting. When I see people hurting, it immediately makes me feel like I can almost feel their pain, like I hurt for them. Like I would feel, you know, this way if it were me. I do that all day long. I feel that all day long. So I would not be able to just sit back and just allow this injustice. I get my husband home. That's going to be my life's mission. That's part of the reason why I created a magazine. I did launch it in, I think it was 2021 that I launched my magazine, Family United. It is a prisoner family magazine. The way the magazine originated was through a college project. When I was in my layout class, we had to do a magazine for the semester. In each part of the semester, we would turn in a portion of the magazine. We got to choose what type of magazine. At first, I was like, I wanted to do a hair magazine. I always wanted to, which I did do that later. And my hair magazine is so cute. It was hair/fashion or whatever. Then I was like, I want to do a how to draw book. And then later, in the end, I'm like, I love kids. Let me just do a family magazine, because I don't see a lot of family magazines geared towards African Americans. Okay, so that's what it started out with, a family magazine geared towards African Americans. But it formulated soon towards a magazine that, you know how all family magazines for the most part are happy and bright and bouncing babies and teething toddlers, and I was like, what about, that's like fake life to me. I didn't go through no bouncing baby and teething toddler. I couldn't even enjoy raising my daughter because I was going through the storm of my life, with my husband being gone. And not only just because he was gone, it was because I could not make ends meet, and I had to work 2 and 3 jobs and had to be that single mother by force, not choice. And I had to go to school, and I never slept. Girl, I used to sleep kneeled to a couch. I worked overnight, 3rd shift. When we get dog tired, we would go to the bathroom, place your foot up on the toilet in the stall, put your hand on your forehead like this and your elbow on your knee and be in a thinking position and go to sleep. And when you fall over, you wake up. I literally survived like that, sleeping in my car, rushing from work to school to catch a nap in between. I had to live that way because the other family member, the other parent, was taken from our home. So I could not make it on my own. This world basically ain't set up for you to survive on your own. You have to survive at least in groups of 2 to 3s and 4s. A single person is not going to survive too long, especially now in this economy. It's just almost impossible, girl. So because my husband was gone, I didn't have that happy, joyous time that I should have had raising money and all of that. I couldn't just enjoy it. So I wanted to do a magazine that reflect that struggle. So I did a magazine with teens with depression. I also was a teen with depression. And I know that a lot of people just kind of ignore teenagers with depression. I know I always felt like if I didn't come out that room, wouldn't nobody even notice anyway. I am not nobody's favorite person. I have never been anybody's favorite person. I'm always forgotten. I'm always looked over. I'm always looked past. That's just how it's always been. And then I also was outcasted and made fun of and bullied. So it taught me to just be alone. I am the black sheep. I really am. I am the outcast of my family, of groups, I do not fit in. I cannot fit in. Even if I wanted to, girl, I wouldn't fit in. I don't know how to fit in. So it just made me just want to be by myself. I am a loner because I'm more comfortable on my own, right? But I don't know how I got off track. But anyways, I wanted to do something real, a family magazine for people like me that struggle, like I said, with depression. So I did the depressing part of teenage years. And then I did the teething, because teething is like when your toddler is like in pain and stuff like that. So it wasn't always those happy parts of rearing children. I did the not so happy parts of rearing children. So I was last year, no, I'm sorry, we in the wrong year because the years going by like that. 2021 was the first year that me and Money were going to the capital, Tallahassee, to start advocating for prison reform and criminal justice reform, right? So this is on the cusp of losing my visits. When I lost my visits with my husband, I just knew that was, to be honest, I knew that was the end of us. I never wanted to admit it to him, but I knew that our relationship was overdone and gone because we have nothing else. He has too long of a sentence, and I'm darn near felt like I've been through the desert and barely gasping for air and water. to have made it 21 years through this. So I know I can't make it through the rest of his sentence. There will be no way for me to get through the rest of his long A sentence. So I knew that when they canceled our visits, that was pretty much it. That's all we had. And there's nothing more to look forward to. Now, on the other side of that, they restored our visits. But when they canceled it, they said it was indefinite, laughed at me and told me carry my A on, basically. And I knew that was the end. So I felt like, because, and it made me feel salty, because I'm like, I really just fought for this man for all this time. And in the end, I'm not going to have him. You know how stupid. I just did a video about that. Like how embarrassing it really is to be the 21-year prison wife. It is. It's very embarrassing. But I have to wear it with honor. I'm sorry. I mean, the truth is, it is embarrassing, because it's like you stood on something, you believe in something, and it didn't happen. It's almost like a letdown, that you were so faithful and you were so sure of something, and now you have to come back with your tail between your legs like, girl, it didn't work out. So I just knew it was over, and I felt like I went down this road for nothing. So to make it not for nothing, I wanted to fight for other people. I know I may never free Marcello Jackson, but in the midst of not freeing Marcello Jackson, maybe I can free some other people, or help some other people on the journey, or help some other prison wives that may not be as far down the road as I am. That's where I started thinking that this should go. That, because I hate for anything to be for nothing, right? So I decided we were going to advocate in Tallahassee. I was like, why don't I take that? Because I want to make Marcello's story stand out. Because now, okay, first nobody was listening to us. And then when all those wrongful deaths of African Americans by officers started happening, and people were waking up and opening their eyes and seeing all this corruption, that's when it was like a spark for justice was lit. And people started actually really listening to people saying they were wrongfully convicted. Oh, if they can out us, then they can wrongfully accuse us and convict us. Nobody believed me before, but then people started believing me when they was like, okay, well, if they are outing you, then we can believe that this, and this is happening. So I have been like advocating for the longest. And then all of a sudden, the floodgates were open and everybody's advocating. And I'm like, hold on. I've been doing this forever and nobody's been listening to me. And now everybody's saying the same thing that I was saying, but nobody can hear me now because too many people are saying, have the same story now that I have. It's crazy. It's like I was ahead of my time, basically, but now I'm behind my time because I was so far ahead of my time, which it makes no sense, but it makes sense to me in my mind. So what I did was I took the magazine, and my intentions was to find other people who have wrongfully convicted loved ones and print their stories in the magazine. I also have Marcello Jackson's story in the magazine, and maybe we could distribute them together, not just me telling Marcello Jackson's story. You tell whoever's story, and you tell whoever's story, and we put them all together, and people could just look at this compiled book and it could circulate. Because the one thing that I've been praying for is Marcello's story to break. It's been hard as heck. There are no outlets. There's nowhere to go. The court is unjust. So that's where you're really supposed to go. So the exit to this is closed off, because the exit is the court, but the court is unjust. So I don't know. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help others because I don't want it to be, if you're wrongfully convicted, you spending 20 of your years, 30 of your years to break a story. That's a waste of your life. That's 20 years of your life wasted, 30 years of your life wasted. Who knows what you could have been had they not taken your life from you. So that I ended up compiling, and y'all know I'm a graphic designer. So I graphically designed, I laid it out. I did everything in that magazine. And I was going to do maybe every 3 to 4 months a new issue of Family United and market it through email. But so I did print out copies, and I went to the Capitol. I did pass out some of the magazines. I thought that would stand out more to somebody, because I'm like, you got to see that I put in a lot of work. And who would put in as much work as I do for a case that, you know, if it wasn't true? Who would spend their life fighting for a cause that he actually does need and deserves to be in prison? Who would do that in their right mind? Who in their right mind would fight for something that was not the truth? If he didn't deserve his freedom, why would I fight like I fight? I do too much work. If you actually look, just stop and look. Look at the amount of videos I have. Look at my channel. I have thousands of videos. What other YouTuber do you see with that many videos, that much content? Even your bigger YouTubers that are getting views, they don't have as many videos as I have. I'm doing an overabundance. I've done an overabundance of artwork, and I got the magazine. I got a children's book. I had a whole rapping career. I got song after song after song. Who does all of that? Really? So for me to put all of that into this, it has to be something. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. It's like, I can't get people's attention for nothing in this world. It doesn't matter what I do. And somebody could say, boop, 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 bop, bop, whatever dumb stuff comes to their mind, and they'll get 1,000,000 trillion views. Or they could do something really stupid or dumb, and the spotlight will be on them. But I can't break this story. So I don't know. I just don't want it to be this hard for the next. It's crazy. All right. It's your girl, Cadillac.